And, as you bring out the arts and stuff, I know one thing, you do some painting and you're artists and stuff, and I know that a lot of the set lists you would do things too, and of course your drum kit and some of the other things around. Then as a painter, how has that affected your playing?
Well, firstly, let me just make this comment that I'm a trained musician, but I'm not a trained painter.
Okay.
I mean, painting, I always kind of doodle,
Right.
And, I actually had thought about taking formal lessons in painting.
Right.
And then I have a place where I kind of gravitate to here in Atlanta. I said, nah, you should just leave it alone, just be hardcore. But then I've studied, I studied the masters and kind of,
right.
I mean, studying me, I'm an admirer of their work. Right. But, how I was kind of, influenced, my painting influenced my drumming, it's another form of freedom.
Right.
You still got to concentrate. I do a lot of commissions.
Right.
So a lot of, I actually did one recently. It was the first time once I did a painting for somebody. They go like, "Oh, that's not quite it." I go like, "Oh." I was like shocked. Like, "Oh boy." So I had to go back to the drawing table and do it again.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was challenged. Quite often. Right. And being a musician, especially, you always, a lot of times you're kind of, you're kind of questioned, and then they go like, no, man, that groove's a little, the tempo wasn't right. A lot of times I think that the art kind of influenced my drumming, and my drumming influenced the art because in the same token, I had a guy once tell me, like Dizzy Gillespie versus Dizzy Gillespie. Once you go to school and learn all you need to learn, then you got to forget what you learned. Right. You got to go back and forget the technique.
Right. And I know a friend of mine that plays fiddle, but he's classically trained on the violin.
Right.
And it's just something that he brings to the table that other untrained musicians
don't.
Oh
yeah, because he can get around the thing.
Right.
Number one, it's just an extension of his head.
Right.
Wow. And that's kind of what happens.
Right.
You get like a great, virtuoso saxophone player. Like I'm not just saying this because he's here, but Mace Hibbert, a guy who has complete control of the instrument.
Right.
It's like he's speaking.
Right.
The same thing with being a drummer. You can get really technical about it and just talk about physics.
Right.
How one guy's gonna hit a drum, and one guy's gonna hit a drum totally different. It's just all about how much weight he's putting behind it.
Right.
The torque, where he's hitting it on the drum.
Right.
How he's, where he's putting the different instruments, how he's pinging the cymbals, if he's splashing, if he's sweeping.
Yeah, and and some people talk about the vibration, internal vibration of the musician itself.
Right. Exactly.
Where his head's at the time and things.
Where he plays, because like I said, the instrument's only extension of the person.
Right.
Like the paintbrush is only extension of the person.
And paints.
Yeah. But you get some nowadays you get some good guys who can actually, like a crazy story, Salvador Dali.
Right.
He had a bunch of students, and towards the end of his life, rumor is that he would just sign the canvas, and his students could paint it, and you could not. It was hard to tell.
Right.
And you have to be almost an authority on Salvador Dali.
Now, because I want to make sure I don't miss this question, but any new projects that you got coming out? Because I want people to know about those.
Well, I got a couple new old projects. The Derek Trucks Band is actually taking a hiatus for 2010.
Right, I'd heard about that.
Right, so I'm pursuing a new record, new direction, new sound, and then I also play with me, Grant Green, and Ike Stubblefield.
Oh, Ike, yeah. The B3 Hannon.
We kind of have a band together. I'm trying to push it in and doing something. Like, let's call it something. We just get together and just go, but it should be something,
There's a band.
We're all from Detroit,
the Detroit 5 or the
right,
Detroit 3,
or
whatever.
The G from Detroit, I don't know, call it something.
Three blind guys.
Right, And then I'm also playing with a guy in Greenville, South Carolina, and then I'm also playing with Earl Klug. I'm actually playing his Jazz Fest pretty soon.
Yeah, and I know y'all were just on TV here in Atlanta.
Right.
With Earl.
Yeah. We with Joseph Patrick Moore. We did Good Morning Atlanta. That's my third time doing it.
Okay.
I love playing with him. I'm going to do his. He does an annual jazz festival every year.
Right.
And actually, that one.
When is that?
That's in April, the weekend of April 19th. And I'm actually playing percussion. I play percussion.
Okay.
So congas and vibes and timbales and with Al Jarreau. And I'm playing with Kirk Whalum and Gerald Albright.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. And got just a few more questions. A lot of this is just to be real informal, but how because one of the goals of Bob's Music Connection is also connecting you with your fan base.
Right.
What would you like to say to your fans that are out there right now? And then second is, how does playing live, having fans there, how's that for you as opposed to going into the studio and just doing something? Or do we want to go there?
No, I do actually. The first part is, I just like thank my fans and my friends. They're not my fans, they're my friends for the support, the everlasting support that the Derek Trucks Band has got, and then I have got.
Right.
I'm 54 years old, and as of lately, I've been able to have a solo band, a solo project. How you doing? Good. This is Laura Reed here.
Hi, Laura.
We're doing an interview.
We're doing an interview. You come on in here. This is Laura Reed.
She's going to sing with me tonight. I'm going to play with her on New Year's Eve. We're doing an interview for Bob's
Music Connection.
Come here, Mace. What? This is Mace Hibbert, the great diva tenor, alto player. I taught him everything he knows.
Watch it.
He gonna beat me up later. All right. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I like to thank everyone for their everlasting support because, man, I remember, doing Derek. We played rooms with 20 people.
Right.
And we went from 20 people to headlining at Montreux Jazz Fest.
Right.
And David Sanborn opened for us. And also, what's the second part of the question?
Second part is, how is having fans out in the audience as opposed to working on a studio project?
Well, I love the studio because it's a laboratory, man. I think that over the years that I've been really blessed and I've gotten really good at it because been doing jingles for so long.
Right.
But man, playing live is where it's at.
Right.
You just it's magic. And I know that sounds so cliche and being magic, but man, that's where I think that's where I love, man, because I feel like on stage I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Right. Well, I know with talking with you, and we met like Bernard and even Will Calhoun, Will Kennedy, that said that sometimes you'll go in and the energy from the audience just takes you to a height that you just like, wow.
Right. Oh yeah. It's just bubbling.
It's that live energy that you can't define.
Right. Like last night, I sat in with Widespread Panic at Phillips Arena, and that's just like it's like a wave,
Yeah.
And some of the days with Derek Trucks are just a wave, and then some of the days I remember playing a gig once, there was nobody there,
right?
And it was like just like 2 people there,
right.
And we cooked. It felt so good. It felt, like we were,
right.
We were in heaven, So, just playing live, getting a chance to make music and add it all, and connect the dots and play for people, and people just have been so wonderful. As of late, with social media, you got Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all this stuff.
Right.
People are a little bit more in contact with you, and I'm all about it. That is just opened up. The world, Joseph Patrick Moore, he has basically a virtual record company.
Right. Blue Canoe Records.
And it's he's the one, it's just another way to go. And I'm like I said, I'm all about it. Probably you had caught me in my 20s.
Right.
I wouldn't have been about it. But at my age, I understand the importance. Like I said, man, we're not curing world hunger.
Right.
We're entertainers,
right.
But it can be serious or it can be, be fun or jovial, but still, we're here to soothe. This is Yonrico Scott, Mace Hibbert, and Joseph Patrick Moore, and you are listening to Bob's